What is up, play-tested subscribers? Corey here. Obviously, I have the new Xbox Elite V2 controller there. I just want to do a quick comparison. As a huge fan of the first one, I was super excited for the second one here. So there's a lot of small changes that are very hard to see just from videos and stuff. So I just want to go over the first one here. You probably know what it is by now. I've been more lucky in terms of this thing holding up. So I actually did get a replacement after about 6 months. Believe it or not, the D-pad of all things went bad, which was not a common thing. But a common thing that happens with these controllers that people are complaining is this part here can kind of peel off eventually. The bumpers pop out. But I've been pretty lucky in that regard. But what I will show you, there's a couple things on it, so I can see if it will zoom in. So the grip is definitely wearing down. You can see that. So that's just from holding it, etc. But I don't have the peeling issue. Oddly, I had that happen, like the actual plastic broke. I've never dropped this controller, so I'm not really sure how that happened. I did have a squeaky trigger. I can't talk. Squeaky trigger problem once. And I did, basically the method is to hold this down and there's a little spring in there. And maybe somehow when I did that, I messed it up. But yeah, the only other thing is that I don't have stick drift, but the module that sort of holds this in, as you can see there, and you can hear it. So it doesn't create stick drift, but it just it's the part that actually holds everything in eventually sort of wore down. So, but no, I absolutely love this controller. I use it every day. I'm a 2-panel kind of guy. We'll talk about that in the new one. So big fan. So I was super excited about the second one. And here she is. So immediately the first difference is that on the original one here, this is a matte and this is a textured. So you instantly get that. And I suspect that this is going to get pretty dirty just because of the nature of, hands and all that fun stuff. But I don't know how easy it's going to be to clean. Whereas this one is, since it's matte, you can just kind of wipe a cloth on it and you're good to go. So we'll see how that holds up. But you can also see the finish of it. The original is more of a silver, and this one's more of a gunmetal. So you can definitely tell that right out. And even on the top there, it's got a gunmetal finish versus that silver. So, but yeah, so some of the finer details. The first one is the triggers. So the trigger actually has a texture on it, whereas the original does not. So I believe it was the PUBG controller tried that, and people were super positive on it. So they decided to add it there. Let's see if it'll focus. So you can see it very clearly there. Clearly not there. The bumpers have been refigured and they've been reinforced so that I did actually once have this left bumper pop out right at the edge here. That's apparently not going to happen on this new one. But you can even see it's got a slightly different click. You probably can't hear that. But yeah, so that's a little bit different. The buttons feel pretty much the same. Everything feels there. So this button actually, it's weird. It's hard to explain. So obviously it just turned on there. But so this is more of a button, and this is more, it doesn't actually go in nearly as far. So it's actually a lot more tactile. Is that the word I'm looking for? So you can see that there. All right. So the other things on the new one, this is going to be hard to do, but there's a big difference in the way that these press. So again, you probably can't hear it, but I'm going to put it over the microphone. This is the original. That's the new one. So it's much more clicky, which honestly I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of yet. We'll have to decide after I get some more playtime with it. But so it's actually a little harder to press, which I'm not sure if I'm a fan of, but we'll see within time. So there's a difference there. And the other one is, let me get these out if I could get it. So when you have all 4 panels in, a lot of people weren't. A lot of people are 2-panel people like myself, just because when you grip it, you almost can't grip it because you'll end up hitting these bottom 2. So you have to kind of like hold it from the top. But on the new one, they're shorter. don't know if you'll be able to see that. So they're much shorter, which, come on, focus, there it goes. Which then allows you to hold it and you can actually grip it. So that's it. That's a big change. There were some third-party accessories that you could get that had some of these shorter ones, but they were still actually longer than this. At least all the ones that I saw. So that's a cool thing, and that's honestly probably going to make a lot of people that are 2-panel people into 4-panel people. So you can hear it when you click those. You can really hear that click in there. So that's a big change. And then we'll look at the trigger stops here. So now there's 3 different trigger stops. That's the lowest. That's the original, how far it would go if you put the trigger stop on it. And then there's just the regular. But so to compare so this is the shortest, and this is the shortest on the original. So much shorter. And then the last thing, actually this is a huge thing for me. I play a lot of Killer Instinct, and the original D-pad. So if you pressed on it hard enough, it would kind of come out. And so I mean, Killer Instinct, maybe I'm just bad at it, but so when I'm getting into it, like if I'm pressing hard, sometimes it would kind of do that. So I actually stuck with the regular cross D-pad a lot more. But this new one, it doesn't look like it. Actually looks pretty similar, but I'm pressing as hard as I was, and it's not coming out nearly as much as it was. So that's a huge improvement on that right there for me. That's a big selling point for me. So obviously it's got the 3 different profiles now. And it actually, technically it has 4, because this means it's got none on it, which means everything just does what it normally does, and then it's got the 3 on there. So I'm actually not a huge fan of it having the LED there, just because I have an OLED TV, so I keep everything like pitch black. So it's going to be kind of strange to have another light on the controller. Maybe you can dim it. I haven't looked in the software yet, but yeah. And there's actually one more thing that I haven't seen really talked about, is it ships with different sticks, which the original one did, obviously. But it does not come with the same kind of sticks that originally. So I normally use not the original ones, but the domes, especially on shooters. That's the stick that I normally use. That is not in the new one. So what it comes with is this shorty. Another one of those, so you can do a complete swap there. Comes with a tall, which the original came with 2 of these. So that's that one. Put this down. So yeah, those are identical. And then it's got a new dome one, but it's a short one. So the main reason that I liked the domes on the original was not only were they a longer stick, so they were much longer. So luckily, hopefully, I haven't checked yet. Let's see. I believe these will still work. Oh no. Interesting. They do not. It's a different mechanism. That's kind of a bummer. I'm not going to lie. That is a huge bummer for me. I'm going to have to readjust on that. But that's interesting. So all the old accessories, at least all the sticks, will not work on the new one. And that looks like it's because... Can't really see. Let's see if I can... There it goes. So this is the new one. Focus. Yeah, it's not going to focus. But so as you can see, the actual unit that controls the stick, this is the original, is different. So this one actually has like a indent, and this one's got that because this does have the new tension, changer too. So that's what this little guy's for. So you can change the tension there. So that's interesting though that the original sticks will not work. Bummer, but is what it is. So, but yeah, there you go. Those are all the major changes. I'm super excited to kind of test this thing out, especially with the 4 panels. That's something I'm really looking forward to because of those shorter panels on it. So we'll see how the clickiness does, and we'll go from there. But yeah, definitely let me know if you're going to be picking up the Elite V2. You can let us know in the comments, and happy gaming to all you Elite controller aficionados out there. So all right, we'll see you next time.